a little bit because it always cuts off a little in the beginning. Wait like 20 seconds. What is up, juggalos and lets, kings and queens, friends and fiends? It's time for Locked into Lunacy. I am your host, Pickle Rick, aka the Juggler. We're talking about Lunacy 79, the final Lunacy before Strangle Mania. It's going down almost tomorrow over on Triller TV Plus. Go check that shit out. If you haven't already, to watch Strangle Mania, you need to go download the app on your TV or whatever device you plan on watching it on. Strangle Mania is going to be on Triller TV, the Triller TV app. You're going to want to go to the Triller TV Plus. The easiest way to do that is look up Strangle Mania, and it'll lead you to the Triller TV Plus subscription, and you just have to give them your credit card, I think your name and your address. Super easy. I did it in like less than 2 minutes, and it's $8 a month. You can watch everything on there, including including GCW Bloodsport 15, which came out tonight. There's all kinds of stuff on there. Basically, what the most popular independent promotion in the world right now, GCW Game Changer Wrestling, is hosting sort of a indie wrestling festival, if you will, in Las Vegas at this one venue, and it's got just a ton of shows from a ton of different indie promotions. It's got Pro Wrestling Unplugged, it's got Dragon Gate, it's got Progress Wrestling, so many, including GCW itself, but it's also got JCW Stranglemania coming at you over on the West Coast at 11:59 tonight. Yeah, for us Central Timers, that's 1:59, and for those on the East Coast, that's 2:59. So I have to work in the morning. I'm not gonna stay up till after midnight to watch a wrestling show, but you can make damn sure I'm watching that shit tomorrow. Probably a lot of it before I go to work. But next week on Locked into Lunacy, I will be comparing and reviewing both JCW Stranglemania and WWE WrestleMania. That's right, I'll be comparing both of those awesome shows. So I can't wait, man. I'm actually pretty excited about WrestleMania somewhat. We got Roman Reigns versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, and then we also have Randy Orton challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. That'll be interesting. Yeah, man. But let's get into Lunacy. Let's talk about some of the stuff we're gonna expect at Stranglemania. All right. The Lunacy show starts out with Vamp coming to the ring and basically trying to butter his way up in the crowd, trying to make himself a babyface and everything. Because as we know, main event of JCW Stranglemania is going to be that triple threat retirement match. It's going to be Vampiro coming out accompanied by the Insane Clown Posse, Violent J, and Shaggy 2 Dope. And he's going to be facing off against the French-Canadian Frankenstein, PCO, and the Don, Big Vito. That's going to be some good shit. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. One of our two main events in Stranglemania. Also, there's supposed to be a triple threat match tonight. Danny Moe versus Big Al versus J-Rod. But J-Rod takes it upon herself to beat up Danny Moe backstage before her triple threat match. And then we see a limo pull up. As we'll know later, that limo has Jeeves in it. Hi, how's it going? Welcome to Locked into Lunacy. And then we got a segment where Luigi Primo tries to work for Vito again. He tells him if you beat PCO tonight in a Sicilian street fight, also if you give this dead fish over to the Brothers of Funstruction, it's like this mobster gangster code that's we're coming to kill you kind of thing. If you ever seen Muppet Treasure Island, and when he gives him the black spot, that's freaking what the fish represents. It's the horse and the bed from The Godfather, basically. And it's pretty funny to see Luigi Primo not quite know what's going on, but yeah. And then we got J-Rod versus Big Al because Danny Moe was taken out earlier on. We get a pretty good match. So the referee gets taken out partway through. J-Rod pulls out some brass knucks, and it looks like she's going to hit Big Al with them. The referee is going to try to stop her. So she hits the referee, takes a good ref bump, and he's out for a little bit. And then Danny Moe comes in from backstage to save Big Al. And Danny Moe's back in the match. Then we got Danny Moe teaming up with Big Al, so they start ganging up on J-Rod. And then we get Danny Moe getting the winning pin, and it looks a little bit like Big Al is kind of mad or frustrated that she gets the pin. Like maybe she wanted to get the pin, and she's not quite sure about her future partner at Stranglemania. That's right, at Stranglemania, we're going to have a tag team match, and it's going to be for, apparently, the JCW Women's Championship. You're going to have the Women's Champion, Big Al, Alice Crawley, teaming up with Dynamite, Danny Moe, to take on J-Rod, and a mystery partner, also a mystery referee of J-Rod's choosing. So make of that what you guys will. Can't wait to see it. 6-7, yeah. All very exciting stuff. I wonder about that JCW Women's Championship match as a tag team match. What are the implications of that? Because obviously, okay, if J-Rod pins the champion, it makes sense that she would be the champion. But does her mystery partner, if she pins Big Al, or even if she pins Danny Moe, then would she be then the women's champion? If Danny Moe wins the match for the team of her and Big Al, does Danny Moe win the championship? They haven't really specified how that's going to work as a tag team match for the women's title. So that'll probably be clarified at Stranglemania. And next we got the segments of the Brothers of Funstruction, kind of finding the fish and knowing what it means and being all worried and stuff. The Brothers of Funstruction, man, they're great. So we all know under the face paint, they're those two gangsters, Danny the Drill and Joey Two Times. And the face paint in the clown gimmick is just like a cover up as they go into hide in the witness protection program and stuff like that. So they know the mobster code and all that stuff. We got Mac Davis interviewing Jeeves and trying to get out of him who the mystery man in the limo from last week and this week is gonna be. We'll find that out at the end of the night tonight. All of us that are following Vito over on his Facebook page, we all know all these matches that are coming up in JCW Stranglemania, but we'll save that till the end of the review, towards the end. Oh yeah, if you're a JCW streamer like me, I think they were mostly talking to people that like stream it live when it's going on. But I think it's also for podcasts and stuff like that. People like me who talk about JCW online. If you're like me, if you're better than me, if you're worse than me, it doesn't matter. Send in your shit. Send in, like I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna send it through the email, the JCW Lunacy email, and I'm gonna send this straight to Psychopathic Records, and hopefully they use some of this footage in a future JCW episode. That'd be freaking sweet. So if you're like me or thinking about being doing something like this where you stream, you know, whether you stream it live or you do a review show or whatever, send in your stuff to JCW, and hopefully they'll show a clip of your stuff in like some kind of compilation in one of the episodes. That would be freaking dope, man. I hope to see you guys there. Oh man, I would love to be like, man, did you see me? I was on JCW Lunacy for a second. Dude, that would be freaking awesome, man. Just a dream come true. Then we got Father Bronson coming within the next few weeks. So Father Bronson, for those of you guys who've seen it and are keeping up, he's the Bray Wyatt type character. Coming to JCW, looks super interesting. He said that he'd be premiering on the 18th, which is tomorrow, which is not one of the airings of JCW Lunacy, but it is while they're doing a TV taping. So a live event is happening tomorrow, and they're doing some kind of taping. So it might be that taping, and it might be the next taping, depending on how they get it out there. But they said at the post show that we should be seeing Father Bronson, and hopefully they didn't mention the Green Phantom, but hopefully we'll be getting to see both of those guys within the next couple of weeks on JCW Lunacy. Yeah. J-Rod does a promo where she's talking about, she's going to have a mystery tag team partner. Also, she's going to be choosing a guest referee, and we don't know who those two women will be yet, but it's got to be awesome. It's got to be worth the reveal. The only way to watch it is by downloading the Triller TV app and getting that Triller TV Plus subscription. Go check that out, guys. It's well worth it. You'll be able to also watch GCW Bloodsport 15 as well as the entire GCW Collective show. So go check out Triller TV Plus. Get your $8 in, and like tomorrow you could be watching JCW Strangle Mania. The Outbreak is all cracked out. And Barnabas is having trouble controlling them. We've had this ongoing storyline with the Outbreak, the zombie tag team that weeks ago at this point have gotten into cocaine stash, and now we're just like seeing these drug addicted, these cracked out, crack addicted zombies, which is pretty funny, man. I said it. I even named one of my episodes of Locked into Lunacy a while back, Coked Out Zombies. Like, what other wrestling promotion's going to give you coke-addicted zombies, man? Go watch that. We go backstage to another promo of Vince Russo talking to Caleb Conley, asking him why he chose to attack cocaine last week. Saying that was his doing. He wasn't consulting properly with Vince Russo. That's not part of the plan. He's kind of losing his head. And Caleb Conley agrees as well that he should be more cautious with what he's doing and everything. But tonight, the JCW Lunacy, he's going to be facing off against Nick Nemeth in a best 2 out of 3 falls match. That's awesome. We'll get to that in a little bit. But also we have Jasmine Sinclair coming up. and she comes up and interrupts and asks Vince Russo why he wants to break up the St. Clair Monster Corporation. Vince Russo thinks that's a good idea, and I've actually like my first ever JCW review I did on TikTok a long time ago, like months ago, like last year at some point. Um, I was talking about breaking up the St. Clair Monster Corporation because at the time we had Congo Khan, we had Mr. Happy, and we had another guy before Beastman called Painful Paul. And I looked at these guys. My initial reaction of the St. Clair Monster Corporation was like, I think they'd all be better as single wrestlers. That was just my initial reaction. Now, like most of you guys, I'm used to the St. Clair Monster Corporation as a team now. And it's kind of hard for me to see them separately now, but like my initial reaction of seeing them was like, these guys are all pretty different from each other. You got the jungle guy, you got the kind of the dumb, happy, but big, scary guy. And then you had just like a big, intimidating guy at the time, and I guess that's what Beastman is as well now. But as much as I'd like to see the St. Clair Monster Corporation do great as a tag team, I am very curious to see what each member would do in a singles run. I don't know how JCW would handle that many big monsters running around, especially since most of their top guys like Cocaine and Stephen Flo are not super big guys. In WWE, everybody's all huge and stuff like that. Pretty normal sized guys for the most part, for most of the wrestlers, I feel like. But Jasmine is given the chance to show Vince Russo what they can do as a team together. And they'll also get that chance to prove themselves as a team as they are in the opening match of JCW Stranglemania this Saturday morning. Basically Saturday morning. Really early in the morning, like 1 in the morning. Will be the St. Clair Monster Corporation will be taking on the Rock and Roll Express, Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton, and also their partner Juggalo George South. Yeah, that's what it is. Juggalo George South. So looking forward to that match. My prediction is that the St. Clair Monster Corporation are going to win a lot of these matches, guys. I'm just going to say that there's going to be a lot of them where it's like a JCW guy, or a couple of them where it's like JCW team versus away team, other indie type team. And it doesn't really make sense for me for other indie teams to win in a JCW show because the JCW guys are going to be on Lunacy, presumably, every week, and the other guys are not. So I'd be very surprised if the St. Clair Monster Corporation doesn't win that over in Stranglemania. Next in the review, we got Luigi Primo versus PCO in that Sicilian street fight. It's a pretty good hardcore match, I have to say. A lot better than the match that we had last week with these two, where it was basically just a squash match. I was entertained for this short but interesting hardcore match. We got some trash cans in there. We got some kendo sticks, some fun stuff like that. And then at the end, we had PCO winning with a sharpshooter. I heard on the post show, Mac Davis was asking, or it was the other guy, Dave Lane, I think his name is. Dave Lane was asking, what's the story with PCO and the sharpshooter? I don't know. I'm sure they'll come up with a better excuse for me. What makes sense to me though is he's a French Canadian, and Bret Hart is like a big a big deal in wrestling, and it's a big Canadian. He's from Quebec, I think. So I think it's just a homage to Bret heart, but we'll see if there's something else there going on. We got Jeeves. Oh, no. We don't have Jeeves. We have Davis asking Big Al if she'll put her title on the line in that tag team match at Stranglemania. And to her surprise, Danny Moe actually answers for her and says, yeah, she'll put the title on the line, which makes me think that maybe Danny Moe has a shot of winning it in that match. Like, if she were to win it for the team, does she win the women's title match? Does she win the women's title? I don't know. We're going to need clarification on how that's going to work. Like, who wins the title in what situation and that. Because it's a singles title defended in a tag team match. So... next, we have Ruffo looking for his brother Yabo, is going to be missing for the rest of the show. We do find out what happens to him at the end. But the match must go on. So we got Ruffo teaming up with Disco Ray to take on the St. Clair Monster Corporation, and it's all three members. So it's a 2-on-3. And with the distraction, Ruffo can't focus. So the St. Clair Monster Corporation win. And they're probably going to win over at Stranglemania as well. So I think that all could be very convincing for Vince Russo to keep the St. Clair Monster Corporation as a team, at least for now. Next, we got an interview with Facade. Facade says he's keeping his JCW American title no matter how many guys are throwing at him, because at JCW Stranglemania we're getting in a six-man scramble for the JCW American Championship. It's Facade versus Disco Ray versus Ninja Mac versus Mosh Pit Mike versus Charlie Haas. How long has it been since we've seen Charlie Haas in a ring? I remember seeing Charlie Haas back in the day, tag team with Shelton Benjamin on SmackDown. That was good. I haven't seen Charlie Haas in a couple decades, so it'll be very interesting to see him competing with all these other JCW wrestlers in this match for the American title. Now, if I could do a prediction, and a lot of times my prediction about wrestling is going to be wrong, but sometimes it's right. I think it makes sense for the title to change hands, but the question is, which competitors are going to go? In my mind, there's only two that could possibly win it. One, Ninja Mac. He's returning. We haven't seen him in a while since he lost it. I think it would make sense to put it back on him and keep the rivalry with him and Facade going now that he's back in JCW. But also, I think it would make sense to put it on Disco Ray as well, because he's so popular right now with the JCW crowd and everything. Rising star. He had that JCW World Title match over at Juggalo Weekend not too long ago against Mr. Anderson. And then actually Cocaine cashed in his #1 contender contract right after Disco Ray lost to Mr. Anderson. Cocaine pins Mr. Anderson, and that's how Cocaine became the JCW World Championship. Speaking of the JCW World Championship, it's going to be a fatal four-way where that title is defended. It's going to be Cocaine versus Caleb Conley and Matt Riddle and Nick Nemeth. So that's our other main event of our double main event over on Stranglemania. So it's going to be a great show, guys. Can't wait. Then we get Caleb Conley versus Nick Nemeth and that best 2 out of 3 falls match. We get Caleb Conley getting the first out of the falls, and then we get a bunch of different pin attempts from both competitors back and forth. We don't know who's going to get the next fall. But then the match is cut short when it's interrupted by Kerry Morton coming out and attacking Caleb Conley and making it a no contest. Making it a no contest and kind of ruining the momentum for both of those two guys going into the JCW World Title in that Fatal 4-Way. Speaking of Kerry Morton, he's also got a match at Strangle Mania, and it's going to be against Mickey Knuckles to see who is the real best wrestler in Japan. Kind of funny. Both have wrestled over in Japan, so I guess we're seeing who the best wrestler to wrestle in Japan in JCW, but I mean, there's other wrestlers that have wrestled in Japan. But anyway, I think Mickey Knuckles is going to win that. It doesn't really make sense for her not to. She's got to come off as a badass again because that's like her whole thing. And Kerry Morton can bounce back from anything. So that's my thoughts. That's my predictions on that one. And then we have our main event for this Lunacy is Shane Mercer versus Cocaine for the JCW World Title. This is the best wrestling match, in my opinion, of the night. But it is cut short by Stephen Flo coming out and attacking Cocaine and making it a no contest. But in a kind of way, it kind of saved Cocaine from possibly losing his title because this match looked like it could go either way. But the rivalry between Stephen Flo and Cocaine is real. It's building. It's going to lead somewhere, but it's going to have to take place after Stranglemania. Stephen is not involved in that Fatal 4-Way, but we'll see what it brings. Also, we have one name announced that I noticed for Stranglemania that keeps getting announced that's going to be there that's not in a match, and that one name is Cowboy James Storm. I don't know to what effect Cowboy James Storm is going to be there or what he's going to be involved in, what's going to happen. We'll see what James Storm's involvement is. I'm really excited to see him back in JCW. We really missed him. He really was a crowd favorite in JCW, so it's going to be awesome to see him come back. And then we have Violent J and Jeeves announcing their mystery man that we got teased on last week. And he is a new roster member for JCW, so he's going to be on at least semi full time in JCW. We're going to get to see him each and every week with Jeeves, and that is EC3 Ethan Carter III. That's right, the nephew of Dixie Carter. This guy's been in TNA. This guy's been in WWE. This guy's been in NWA. He's been everywhere, and now he's in JCW. Very excited to see him. I thought that would be interesting for Jeeves to do his like manservant kind of thing with EC3. Unfortunately, I don't think quite like Caleb Conley, where EC3 is going to play into the whole like gay wrestler story character. I think EC3 heard about what Jeeves was fully, and I think he was like, well, no, we got to make him cousins. So it's going to be Jeeves and EC3 are cousins. So I don't know, that just seems weird to me. I don't want to say I liked his dynamic with Caleb Conley, but I feel like his dynamic, if he had tried to have that dynamic with the right person elsewhere, it could work. But yeah, my point in all this being EC3 is going to be the guest referee for the Fatal 4-Way match. And He's going to be the guest referee for that, which does have Caleb Conley in it. So will Jeeves be looking to get revenge on Caleb Conley by screwing him over in the Fatal 4-Way match? I have to wonder about that. And we end the night with, we see Yabo tied up in a room somewhere, and he's screaming for help as JCW Lunacy goes off the air. So somehow they got to get Yabo out of there before JCW Lunacy, before the Brothers of Funstruction meet the Outbreak for Strangle Mania. That's the one match I feel like could just be a Lunacy match. Not really anything too special. Maybe they should end the cocaine zombies storyline for a while, or maybe make the Outbreak something more serious again. It is kind of a funny joke, but it is kind of being overdone. I don't know what you guys think. On the post show, they were talking about the possibility in the future about maybe making J-Rod a babyface in the future. I don't know. She's such a great heel. She's the heel in the women's division right now. So I really can't imagine her as a babyface, but they were talking more like a potential of like her being like a female Kurt Angle, where she could go from like being a heel to like being like a really good, like, oh, I'm an Olympian, I'm a role model for like kids and stuff like that when she turns face. So that could be very interesting, but I'd also be interested to see there'd have to be a place taking of the heel of the women's division in JCW. Also, somebody asked in the post show about, is Choppa City coming back? And Mac Davis explained to us that they are West Coast guys. So anytime JCW is going to be in the West Coast, we can expect to see Choppa City. And they will be coming back within the next couple shows, it sounds like. So I'm really glad to see Choppa City. I have some videos of the last time Choppa City was on JCW. Go check those out. Just made a sweet puppet video over on TikTok. I'm very proud of it. It's a if you guys don't know me from TikTok, I have a puppet over there, and I also have him on some of my shorts on YouTube. But I did this shot where he's like laying in bed and he sits up and he talks and then he goes back down, and you can't see me in the shot, and so it's just awesome puppet Muppet magic. I loved it. The only thing I want to be more than a wrestling commentator, than somebody who does wrestling reviews, is a puppeteer, which a lot of people would say I'm better at that. But yeah, man. Let's go over the card for Strangle Mania. What is there a match I haven't talked about? Yes, there is. Too Tough Tony and Willie Mack, the JCW Tag Team Champions, are going to team up with Rob Van Dam to take on the Good Brothers of Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, and their tag team partner Kenta, Japanese wrestler. That'll be awesome. I hear a lot of people who are just in the indie wrestling fandom, that's the match that are going to make them want to check out JCW Strangle Mania. In case you guys missed it, guys, download the app on your TV, on your phone, wherever you're going to watch Strangle Mania. Download the Triller TV app. Get the Triller TV Plus subscription. It's $8 a month. You can cancel after Strangle Mania if you want, but you can see the entire GCW collective that's going down in Las Vegas. It's basically like an indie wrestling festival with a bunch of different indie wrestling promotions on different nights in the same venue. One of those is going to be JCW Strangle Mania. Also, that came out tonight was GCW Bloodsport. So I'm excited. I'm going to watch that, at least some of it, and see if I'm into GCW stuff. It is supposedly the most popular wrestling indie wrestling promotion. So we'll see. Let me know, guys, if you guys are fans of JCW, if you guys are fans of GCW, you guys are fans of WWE. Drop all your wrestling knowledge and opinions in the comments. It would really mean a lot if I knew that people were listening into the show and had suggestions or criticisms or whatever. If you think I'm doing bad, let me know. If you think I'm doing great, let me know. I just want to get some interaction. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Um, Participate in the chats when those are going on. My YouTube here is at Pickle Rick, aka the Juggler. Also the same on Instagram. On TikTok, I am Pickle Rick 89. You'll see my puppet Juggalo Muppet on there. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for being part of the live. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much for liking. That means a lot to me. I'm gonna go upload this and add a thumbnail and call it a day. So the live, as a live, it won't be done processing till like tomorrow or something, but like I will put it over on the Locked into Lunacy playlist, and that'll make it available to everybody like right away when this is done. Also, at some point in this live, I had a highlight, and that'll be a short. I'll be doing that. Also, guys, if you want to find me ever, just look up Locked into Lunacy on YouTube, and I'll be like the first 5 results, because that's a totally original name, and that's the name of the show. I made it up, so hell yeah. Whoop whoop. Hope y'all are gonna watch Strangle Mania. I'm gonna email this to Psychopathic, and hopefully I'll be on an episode of Lunacy. You're freaking awesome. All right, you guys have a great night. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all those awesome GCW collectives. Enjoy Strangle Mania. Enjoy life. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.